What's up?
What's poppin'?
Yo,
Critter Nation. Critter
Critterpit's back.
Nation. Critterpit is back. Better than
Another
ever.
week. Yeah. David's
We've
in the
never
studio. We bailed on him
suffered.
last week. I
Yeah, we did.
kept on rescheduling.
Sorry, Dave.
I'm sorry
it's all
about
good.
that.
It's all good. I
Do you
I still have
ever
to listen to it, so I'm excited to do that.
do you ever go by Dave, David?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Because there's two Davids now, so I need to
Right,
differentiate you two in my mind.
That's fair. That's
Who
fair.
is more Dave-esque?
Who is the more David? I'm gonna give it to our current guest, David Lundy.
Okay. Why
Who wins
more?
the-
Is it just am I more formal? Is that why?
Well,
or-
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You wear a suit. I've never seen other David wear a suit.
Right. Right.
I don't know. What makes a David? Would you say?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a more formal way of addressing someone. But
That's true. Yeah, like a full name.
yeah.
'Cause I am a Samuel, but I never go by Samuel. Ethan is the only one to call me Samuel.
Yeah,
It's always Sam otherwise.
I don't know if you have you met anyone who goes fully by the full Samuel? I don't think I've maybe once.
No. Yeah, no,
Like
I
no one goes
haven't.
by Samuel anymore.
Yeah. Feel like Ethan may be gone.
Hello?
Oh no, he's
Hello.
there.
Hello? Okay. Scared me for a second, Samuel. I don't
Okay,
know.
you just
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, you're here.
Okay. Oh, stop playing with my heart. Not today. I love calling people by their full name. I think it's the funniest bit ever. It's gotten me in a good amount of trouble, but you gotta hit it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't have like a full name to be called though. Ethan is just
Yeah,
it
I
is
guess
the
I
name.
don't know the pains.
Ethanuel.
I called
Yeah.
my
Davidic
50 I have like a 50-year-old coworker who goes by John exclusively. And one night I called him Jonathan, and he looked at me dead in the eyes and he's like, "Ethan, don't you ever call me Jonathan again. It's John." I'm like, "Yes, chef. Heard, chef." Got in a good amount of trouble there. I don't
Damn.
know why people don't like going by their full names. I think it's great. Like Matt is Matthew. I love calling Matthew Matthew. And I
Yep.
feel like he's kind of a Matthew when I think about him now. You know what I mean, Sam?
Yeah.
I see him as a Matthew.
Don't tell him that. He might get sad.
Oh yeah. He goes by Matto these days. But that's neither here nor there. How are y'all doing?
I'm trying to stay cool. Doing pretty
Yeah.
well
Oh
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hot here.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here in Red Deer.
I
I've
did
been
a
dying lately.
Yeah, I did a boxing like lesson thing last night.
Oh
And the
fuck
gym
yeah.
that I went to didn't have any like air conditioning or anything. It was like
Hell yeah.
35 degrees in the gym and we're all like getting sweaty, going crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
Love
pretty
that.
hellish, not gonna lie. But
That's intense.
What's
good
been
time.
killing me is every time I try to fall asleep, I can't stop thinking about how hot it is, and I just stay up till like 7 a.m. every night, just tossing and turning.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets
You
even
missed the
hotter in
cool
the morning.
hours of the day. Yeah.
It gets hotter in the morning, and then by like 4 a.m. 4:30, the sun's up, so I have to put a blanket over my head so the light isn't polluting my eyes. And then that gets even hotter. It's a fucking mess, guys. It's a fucking mess.
Sounds horrible.
What a terrible life.
Yeah.
I think the worst part of my life right now is like working in a kitchen, right? Having to do anything in dish because like the kitchen is hot enough, right? From all
Yeah.
the flames and the grills. But dish, dude, with all the hot water, it is humid. It is
Right.
so humid. And there is nothing worse than a wet heat, in my opinion. It is awful. It makes me feel nauseous and sick.
Unescapable too, right? Like once you're
Yeah.
wet in the heat, it's
Yeah.
over.
Oh, it's a
Sweat.
sauna in there. I was crashing. It's not good,
Mm.
boys. Not
Mm.
good. Doesn't help that I was slamming back Coke too and no water. It's just fucking
Giving you that sugary, sugary energy.
no, it's dehydrating me, I feel like it's stealing the H2O from me. It's awful. But it's yummy and it's free, so I have to take it.
You have to.
You have to.
And then
Rip off the company whenever you can.
all I've been eating is chicken tenders and fries too. It's fucking bad calling you guys. I'm dying. But you
No,
gotta
it's
do what
good.
you gotta do. It's not good.
On the
It's not
diet, on the grind.
good. That's the Critterpit diet right there.
Yeah, oh yeah. Chicken
Ugh.
tenders and Coke.
That's our man-child audience diet.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure every audience member, they get together to listen to
Yeah.
the pod. They bring out their chicken tendies,
Yep.
crack open a
Big
cold
box
Coke.
of 'em. Yes, sir. That's like if we ever got a Critterpit meal at like McDonald's or something. That's what it would be. That
Yeah,
would be
nothing
sick
sounds
as fuck.
more appetizing than the words critter and pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then the dipping sauce can be like modeled like a little pit. Oh my god, dude.
What
If
if you made
fucking
like the chicken wing in the shape of like a cockroach
A
or
bug.
something? Yeah.
Genius.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a deep fried
And then
cockroach.
the dip is like it's a pit, but it's got a bunch of like little bugs in it.
Yeah. Now we're cooking. Now we're
Get on the
cooking.
horn, McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. I don't want to be giving Mudhole any ideas, but like if they ever had a McDonald's meal, there's a lot of branding opportunities
The mud
with like
pie,
yeah,
mud
mud
hole.
pie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Like
Pork
what are they? What are the ice cream
pork
things they have there? McFlurry.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
A
Yeah.
Mudhole McFlurry.
Just
Yeah.
rolls
Delicious.
off the tongue. I love it.
That
Yeah.
sounds appetizing. Yummy, yummy. And then pork and bones.
Mm-hmm.
You can do so much with that. Just pork and bones. That's a meal right
all
Yeah,
you
there.
the
need.
McRib.
The
There you
McRib.
Just the McRib.
Oh
We
With the
already have a
God.
bone,
feature.
they give the bone in.
Yeah.
It's the
Hell
special.
yeah. You got to
Bone
eat
in
around
McRib.
that in a sandwich. That's awesome.
Hell
I love
yeah.
that. I bet Troy would love that too.
Rest
Did
in
you
peace.
have
Really crunch.
did you have the McRib when it came back, David?
No, I don't. I don't eat meat, so
Oh, shut
But-
out.
yeah, shout out. But I've
You
heard.
should have broken that for the McRib.
True. If I ever,
No, it was
if
pretty
for
mid.
some
Incredibly
reason there's like a lapse, it would be
Yeah.
for the McRib. Yeah.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
don't
ever
worry, guys.
relapse, has to be for the McRib. It was kind of a phenomenon within our film class. Everyone loved the McRib.
I
There's
see
a
people
fourth year.
posting about it online all the time. I mean, not anymore, but there's been like
Yeah,
a
Yeah,
few
it was
surges of
bit of a
activity
meme.
around that. Yeah.
it was right
It
across
really
the.
wasn't that good. It was
Yeah,
very meh.
was the first time we had the McRib on that one trip we had. Samuel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That gave Graham a nightmare trip.
The other day or like that one?
That time. That night I became
He
the
wasn't
golden
having a
god.
nightmare. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was kind of tripping. That night's very surreal when I look back on it, but we can't really speak why. Anyways,
Hmm. I'm intrigued.
yeah, it's a lot of lore. A lot of lore. There's a new like figure introduced that night that became very substantial in the dynamics of the group. Well, for one member of the group, impacted the lore quite a bit.
I don't even
It's a good
remember
time.
this.
I'll tell you this: her name starts with an H. Sam,
Oh,
you remember
yeah.
that?
Oh my god. That was the
That night.
funniest. Yeah, I don't know if we can tell David, but
No, we can't. That
it was so
impacted the lore
funny.
massively. Like
Sorry, David. That was just
It's all good.
this is the most inside baseball conversation. Just
you can pick up on the vibes though. You can enjoy this. You're enjoying this.
Yeah. Yep.
this is
Yeah,
content.
good times.
Viewers
though.
at home, listeners at home.
They're
Yeah,
enjoying this.
Yeah.
They're
You're
enjoying
have
this.
to
loving
be.
it.
You're
Ba, ba,
paying
ba,
your
ba, ba.
hard-earned money for this.
Yep,
Yeah. Are you
We
guys gonna
should.
make like a subscription
we should make a
based
streaming
podcast?
service.
Yeah.
We
Make
keep
like
saying that we're gonna release our like unreleasable episodes on Patreon.
Mhm.
If people pay for that, that's where we'll release the episodes we've recorded and deemed unreleasable.
Right.
So
There's some rough ones.
I'm salivating just hearing that. Wow.
The Dubby app. That's a
That
good app
sounds
right
good.
there.
yeah, the first After Dark.
Yeah.
Wow.
Feel like did we
That's-
ever do a second After Dark?
No. We sat down for a couple, but I don't think we ended up recording them. We just
Damn,
talked.
fuck that. Gotta
Well,
always be making content.
why aren't we
God
recording
damn it.
every conversation we have?
Exactly.
Truly, man. It's a
I
waste
mean,
of
over the
time.
summer, we basically do. We record every time we talk.
I mean, we talked for like an hour the other day, Sam, off the
That's
air.
true,
That's a
but
rarity. That's a
we
rarity.
did mean to, like, we were going to record.
It's true. That's a fluke. That's a once in a
Yeah.
blue moon. Me and Sam talking with no recording devices out.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
That never
crazy.
happens. We're not friends off the air. It's
No,
just
business.
Like
coworkers.
the Mythbusters.
Exactly,
Exactly.
Heard
yeah.
about that? Yeah.
Like,
It's a good dynamic for the pod, but
yeah,
off pod, nah, I don't.
there's a bit of tension, honestly. A little bit.
A lot of contract negotiations behind the scenes. A
Which
lot
one
It's
of
of
all
you
things
wears
business.
happening.
the patty cap or whatever and has a mustache?
That'd be Ethan.
Ooh,
I'm the Adam
Yeah.
Savage of the podcast.
Okay, that's great. I know there's a bit of controversy around him. Cool guy
Yeah.
about
though.
which one?
Adam
Jamie
Savage.
and Adam Savage, yeah.
What'd they do?
They just
It's,
hate each other.
yeah.
Oh, damn. Fuck.
Poor Mythbusters.
What are you gonna do, I guess?
Anyway,
We should
Speaking of
start.
hot weather,
yeah,
Yeah.
sure looked hot in Iran.
yeah,
Hey,
in
wait,
that movie. Oh, oh,
wait.
You have more things to say? You have
I
more
just want to
preamble?
talk. I love my preamble. You guys know this.
That's
It's
true.
like it's the soul of the cast. It's the meat and potatoes at the end of the day.
that's what you
And
come
It's the
back
meat and
for.
potatoes, not the movies we talk about.
yeah, and I know the audience is just dying to hear about the books I've been reading and where I'm at with that. So, little little Ethan's book hour because I don't really watch
Woo.
movies anymore. It's all just books these days.
Too bad.
Um, nah, books are elite. I might have to switch.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard.
Hmm.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard.
Which one's that?
It's a Scientology
Fuck
foundational
yeah,
text.
that
So I've
sounds
been
sick
working
as
on
fuck.
that. Yeah.
That sounds sick as fuck. I've been just going down the Cormac McCarthy pipeline.
Oh, cool.
I finished the Border trilogy. That was a sick fucking trilogy. Great books. Made me cry many times. And then I
Wow.
read American Gods by Neil Gaiman.
It's a good
Mhm.
book.
That's a great book.
I've read that book as well.
What do you think of that book, Sam? I thought I really liked how they
Too
put
much
some
sex.
a lot of sex, yeah. And like some
Yeah.
of Neil Gaiman's like writing styles are a little annoying. Like you can tell when he was writing it, he just thought it was like kind of the most clever thing in the world. And the writing
Yes.
feels very self-indulgent and they'll run around that topic for like 30 pages. And it's just it feels just insistent on its own quirkiness sometimes. I don't know how else to describe
That's
it.
Mhm.
yeah, I'd say that's true of like every Gaiman thing I've read as well.
Yeah,
He likes to
yeah.
go
And
off on his like little kind of side rambles.
yeah, and Good Omens felt a lot more streamlined than this one. But
Well, this one is the way that this one's told has a lot more like kind of weird side
yeah,
action and like very aside
because it's
stories that are
it's
hard to connect
very
to the main
broad
plot.
because
Yeah.
it's very much about just themes and vibes of like and I well, why I think I jammed at this one a lot more than I do with Good Omens is because like Good Omens is kind of just going in on Christian theology and all that.
Mhm.
I really like the broad look at all these beliefs and all these religions, right? And like just kind of the power of religion when people buy into it and put faith into it. It's the way they explored that dynamic. I thought was really interesting. Cool
Yeah, I
stuff.
like that as well.
And I'm
Uh,
surprised they didn't go more into like Abrahamic religions in it, but I'm glad they didn't. It was cool seeing some of the other more like older world, I guess you'd call it, religions. I don't
yeah.
know. It was cool. Good book. 8 out of 10. And then I read The Road by Cormac McCarthy.
Mhm.
It's a depressing little book. It's a
Yeah,
very
it is.
depressing book. Sad,
What do you
but
think?
um, I can see why people don't like it. The criticisms against it are pretty like hard to to argue. Like it's very repetitive. It's
Mhm.
very like um just blunt, I would say, and
Mhm.
often feels meaningless. But I think it's because I'm coming off so many McCarthy books, I like that didn't pose any problem for me. I like
You're
blitzed
just
through
locked
this
in.
book. Yeah. And it was really effective for me. Like all the really meandering, kind of like repetitive description of actions and routine really worked for me. It really brought me into this world and showed how miserable it is. And I just thought the question at the center of it was interesting and one I'm still like kind of grappling. Like the
What
morality
is
of continuing to live
what
in
is
this
that
world.
question?
Well, it's kind of like, the setup of the book. It's about like
I do not.
this post-apocalypse, and it's just about this father and son traveling the road, and their only objective is to get south where it's more warm and less cold because the whole world's like freezing pretty much, so cold it cracks stones.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It's like the day
and
after
that's
tomorrow.
sure, never seen it. And the question
Uh,
is like, what's the point of continuing? Is it even ethical to like continue on with your son and kind of just abject suffering for the most part, right? Is it ethical to try to hope for something more? I don't know. It's interesting, and it's a tough read, but worth it. I'd recommend it to you all critters out there.
Yeah, it's a good
To,
one.
for anyone,
I'll
you read
just
it, David?
rewatch The
I
Day After
have, yeah.
Tomorrow.
What did you
Yeah,
think
it's
of it, David?
basically I liked it a lot. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
It does build in terms of like the kind of conflicts they have. So
Hmm.
it is repetitive, but there's a build, and I think it's basically a world where it's getting cold, but there's also no biosphere, so there's no plants
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
or uh,
everything's
or
dying.
animals, so everyone's scrounging for food that's
Canned
been
goods.
stored, basically. Yeah, yeah, and people will start killing each other and eating each other
eating each other.
to
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
survive.
some
So it's
fucking
pretty.
haunting bits.
I
That bit
don't
in the
think
house.
people do. People reproduce still. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some pregnant women, and
but they don't
the
tell you
son is
why
born.
that shit has happened. And anyways, so there's a father and a son, and they're just trying to survive
Yeah.
on the road down to trying to get to the
Yeah.
south where things are apparently better. And yeah, they're just paranoid um,
It
for good reason. And then the ending's pretty interesting. I thought actually it was a
yeah.
bit
I
hopeful.
What what I really loved in the book actually was the dialogue. I thought the dialogue between father and son was like fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
it's apparently
God,
based on some of his own conversations with
oh
his
man,
son. So,
it felt really like just like the blunt back and forth, and the classic McCarthy like little punctuation
hmm
was fantastic, and just it built that dynamic so well, but so like simply kind of like it didn't
hmm
feel very like truncated where it's like, oh, this is a character development section, right? This is building the bond. It felt very like natural to me, the flow of it all.
hmm
And the bond is really like what's keeping you going through that book through all this depressing monotony. It's like just the bond between this father and son, and it's really beautiful, honestly.
yeah,
They're each other's entire world.
yep,
Hmm.
pretty
Now,
much.
I don't know how to feel about the ending though. Just like what happens at the very end. Like I'm glad it
Well,
ended
it's
on
kind of
the
a trick,
note it did.
basically. It's like the
Yeah.
whole worldview that they were living by. Not all of it, but part of it, like the paranoia.
Hmm.
Turns out,
Yeah.
not to spoil too much, but it turns out that there are some nice people out there on the road. So that's
Hmm.
all. That's all I'll say. I think.
I think just the
Humanity still
pacing
exists.
the
Yeah, there's like.
pacing of it was just not, maybe it wasn't working for me.
Is
Mhm.
it pretty long or just
I think
slow?
it's
It's
like
a short
250
book.
pages.
It's
So
a very
Okay.
short book. I blitzed through it.
yeah,
Um,
I tend to read only 20 to 30 pages a day because I'm trying to read consistently. So you know,
yeah.
That's smart.
I just read on break and like right before bed. I try not to like go on my phone before bed because I already struggle with like insomnia and stuff. So
hmm
Mm.
don't want that
hmm
blue light, baby. So I've just been reading a shit ton before bed, trying to just force myself to pass out. But then the books
Yeah.
I'm reading are too damn captivating. Damn it.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'm intended on getting more into more McCarthy. I kind of want to go through all his stuff, but I
yeah,
want to save Blood Meridian for last. That's the one that everyone's hyping up a lot,
it's
but
really
I want
good.
to
Yeah.
save it for last. And I also, Matt was telling me about like these two books. Like I think it was his last two that he wrote while he was dying, and
hmm
it's like a reflection of his dying thoughts and his existentialism, and that sounds fucking sick. I love that shit. That was like my favorite part of The Irishman, so I'm
Mhm.
hyped for that.
I'm
I'll
gonna
save those for
do a
last.
segue here. Cormac
Yeah.
McCarthy wrote a book called Suttree as his first book. I'm gonna start
Okay.
reading that next after I finish my other one.
Oh,
Guess what
nice.
though? Roger
Hmm.
Ebert on the Wikipedia. There's a quote from, or there's a thing about him loving that book. As he was dying, he
Okay.
was reading Suttree and
Oh,
said it was like really connecting to him, or in his later life or whatever.
Oh
So,
man, gotta hit
segue
that.
two. Roger Ebert hates this movie we're reviewing. He even doubled down on it, I
Wait a
guess.
second. Wait a
Yeah.
still have
second.
more.
There's
Oh, we have
one
more.
more. There's two more things.
Poor viewers,
Um,
man. No, sorry. Poor
no,
listeners.
they
Poor
love
listeners.
this. I've told them they love this. The Counselor. I watched this movie Cormac McCarthy wrote the screenplay for. I'll keep it short.
No
It
Country
was
for Old
very
Men.
much. It was very much like No Country for Old Men.
Oh,
Felt very distilled
Worse.
down from. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not No Country, but it's good. It's a solid one. It's a Ridley Scott directed Cormac McCarthy screenplay, The Counselor. It's interesting stuff. Kinda meandering at some points, but that's kind of like McCarthy's whole thing. But I think on a rewatch, I'll really love that. I'd recommend that movie. 8 out of 10.
okay.
And
Nice.
I also one last thing. I promise. I just wanted to get Dave because like Red Shoes is like one of your favorite movies, right, David?
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to just get your thoughts on
That
it
is a
since you've been
meandering
joining us.
episode.
Well,
Just because
I didn't rewatch it recently, so I can't give you too many thoughts. I just think it's a. I love Technicolor. I watch all those. I've seen most of the Powell and Pressburger movies now.
Okay.
And I still like the Red Shoes probably the best. It might be Black Narcissus on rewatch, but who knows? Anyways, I love the colors and the dialogue is usually pretty smart. I don't know how you guys felt about the Red Shoes, but I find the dialogue's always quality, and I mean, obviously the shots are always those are really
Gorgeous.
the standouts, right? Like
And
What a
the
wide
editing. There's a lot of great editing in
editing,
that
yeah,
movie too.
the
and
sets. The
the
sets are
acting was
crazy.
cool. I mean, it's like kind of heightened a little bit.
Yep.
So
Quite theatrical.
yeah, but I really like that
Hey.
movie. I got to rewatch it. I mean, too.
Yeah.
Sets are fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, we were both
So
very
sick.
positive on it. It was a great
I
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah.
Really liked
So
it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go into more of the Archer's films. Where would you recommend going next for them?
So, like for the Powell and Pressburger movies, maybe I'd recommend Black Narcissus if you haven't seen that one.
Okay.
It's a pretty awesome one.
That's the one with the super famous like matte painting cliff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got some really great cinematography and tricks like that as well. And I think it's Deborah Carr is the main actress in it. She's good. It's kind of, I mean, it's not aged well in terms of maybe it's like some of its orientalizing features about kind of India, I think, or
Mm.
maybe it's Nepal. I don't remember. But it's made around the time that the British Empire is leaving India as well. So, anyways, there's some
Is it
commentary.
set in that time period as well, or is it?
Yeah, I think so. And it's sort of like a monastery or convent.
Okay.
A convent up in the mountains. I don't remember which country, but I think it's India. Let me see.
That's
Anyways,
very interesting.
it's really cool. Yeah, it's about them being kind of like it's like nuns. It's a nunsploitation movie, sort of, where it's like these nuns are repressed because they're like living away from their old lives and they're escaping stuff in their old lives. And then there's like this guy who's cool, and then they like him. But I just think the shots and the acting's really cool and funny. But
Yeah,
it's
I
really just the
definitely
shots
wanna
are so
check it out.
beautiful. So I love it.
I'll hit that.
I
Have
think that's
you
actually coming up
seen?
on Critterpit pretty soon.
Okay, I'll have to
Really?
come back for that.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one's that? Is that like in the 80s? Have you seen the Colonel Blimp one?
Yeah, I have. I
David?
like that one too. It's probably my third favorite that they did.
Okay.
It's cool. It's 3 hours almost, or 2:45 or something.
Shit.
But
Long.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's sort of British propaganda, sort of the same time not. so it's like made in the Second World War, and it's talking about how there's like this guy who's a military officer in the British Army, and he's from the kind of the generation before World War One, I think, or he fought in World War One. Just before that, though, he was already serving in the Boer War or something, I think. Anyways,
Okay.
it's kind of about his life and how he's not like the most smart guy, but he has a good soul, and you know, he means well. And yeah, it's sort of he. There's his counterpart, who's a German guy who's fought through World War One and then not World War Two, just World War One, and sort of reconciling German and English stuff instead of trying to divide them. And then they have a thing where they're like, Nazism's horrible though, so which is right,
Shit.
but like yeah. So there's some propaganda stuff at the end where they're kind of showing they're trying to show the virtues of England sort of through that movie, but it's pretty well made, and it's well acted. So there's some cool transition scenes too. I think the starting is a military exercise, but you think it's like a war scene, so it's
Okay.
cool. And then there's one where he falls into the main character as an old man. He falls into the pool, and then the camera pans up, and then I think it pans down again onto that pool, and it's like 50 or like 30 years earlier. So there's a lot of cool stuff like
Oh,
that in
that's
the
really
movie.
cool.
Yeah, it's worth your
Gotta hit
time
that.
at some point.
Yeah, definitely gonna watch that.
Those archers seem like innovative filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah,
innovative.
yeah.
Have you ever seen Peeping Tom? I've
I
heard that
have as well.
did wonders for Pal's career.
Yeah, not exactly. I didn't like it as much, but it was still good. It's got some really interesting imagery again. I just think the story's a little bit, I don't know why, I just didn't connect with it as much.
It's valid. It's because
Yeah.
Emmerich Pressburger wasn't there.
Exactly.
Also, Black Narcissus is 93, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, number 93. Okay.
So it's
Yeah, I
coming
have
up.
to.
A few more.
Okay. We're on
If
our
we
way.
keep on this pace, who knows?
We'll get there in another 2 years, year and a half.
No,
Sure.
well, we've been
What are
hitting
we at?
every week, David. Can you believe that? For 2 months, we've hit
Wow.
Yeah.
every week.
We've been
Proud of you guys.
consistent.
Proud of you guys.
Crazy.
If we can keep this up, we could even get it to 2 a week. Probably not, but
I don't think we could do 2 a week. That's a lot.
but we got 1 a week.
Allegedly, we're
So
doing one tomorrow, but we'll see.
are we
Okay.
hitting that in the
What
2
is it?
p.m. to 5:30 p.m. time slot?
What movie is it?
The most dangerous game.
Oh, okay. I don't know anything about that one. Cool.
It's 60 minutes. We love that.
It's only 60 minutes, which we love. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's a sick cover. And we're getting Dave on for that, so maybe.
Yeah. My roommate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But he gave us like such specific times that he could record. They're like,
I love
just-
that.
Yeah.
I love that. And then we might get Rob on for Insomnia. That'd be big, Sam. That'd be big.
Did he text you back or did you text him?
I texted him and I said, "Would you like to be on an app?" And he said, "Yippee, of course."
Okay.
And then he hasn't gone back to what he thinks about the movie. Hopefully he likes it. It'll be good. Be great. Be awesome.
Yeah. Okay, right. I have one piece of news before we get to the movie.
Let's
Also
get
it.
in the news.
Yeah. I emailed Gabe from Benji's Hour,
Oh,
the director of
shit.
Benji's Hour, because
Oh, yeah.
I often think about that movie, right? And I check his social media, but his Instagram's down. So I was like, oh no. And like, I hope Gabe's okay. So I checked his website, and his website is down as well.
No.
So I was like, luckily I have his email saved in this chat. So
Hell
I
yeah.
emailed him hopefully before that email goes away. And I emailed
Oh,
him like 2
man.
days ago and still hasn't got back to me.
Shit.
I hope he's okay. Last we
too.
checked up on him, he was in Israel, so
He's in
anything could
Israel
have happened.
solving the conflict. Fuck. Dude.
Yeah.
What? If Gabe died, I'm
Good
gonna
for
like
him.
cry. Don't even say that, Sam.
I know.
Gabe is
So
Gabe
anyway.
is not dead. That would be crazy lore. Fuck. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That lore is just hitting me right now. If Gabe's dead in Israel. That'd be crazy lore. Let's hope not. Pray
Hope
not.
not. Desperately want
Look.
to see what he does next.
He's one of the filmmakers I'm most tapped into. Most like, sure, I'll be hyped for a new Scorsese. Sure, I'd be hyped for like a new Kubrick if he got brought back from the dead.
Mhm.
But if there's a new Gabriel Kahane film, I am in the theater. I am flying to New York to get the first
I'm the
premiere. I am
only
there.
one in that theater.
I'm the only one, but I'm there, locked in, because I want to see. I want to see his progression to become one of the greatest filmmakers to ever live.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Maybe one day he'll become as good as Abbas.
Kiarostami,
Last name.
Albus
director
last name.
of
Close enough.
Taste of Cherry, 1997. Boom. That's
Wow.
how you segue.
That's a smooth transition. Take
That
notes,
was
David.
like effortless
And we're only at
and
half an hour.
immediate.
I
Yeah,
think
that was really
I
quick.
think a podcast is at its best when you have half an hour preamble. It eases the audience in.
Right.
It gives them
Only the true
context.
fans make it far enough to hear the
Exactly.
talk about
Gain
the
the
movie.
knowledge. Yeah.
We don't want the
exactly.
trash here. We don't want the trash here. And
I think
Yeah.
in my
people
opinion,
need
you
to
want the
know a little bit
context.
about the hosts as well, right?
Exactly. You need to
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
these people. I'm about to take their opinion on this film, right? You need to know where they are emotionally, where they are at in life, what books they've been reading, especially. You
Mhm.
need to know that
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
all these things factor into what they might say about the film. You know how it might affect them. So, yeah, I promise you, Ebert and Siskel did half an hour preamble.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure
they just
they
didn't
did.
put it in. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They just
Amateurs.
immediately would cut it out.
Amateurs.
Yeah. This day and age, you can make money off of that. So.
Exactly.
Exactly. Genius.
We somehow got to get these episodes over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Is there
I
like a
can't-
contract that you signed or a grant that gives you money if you're over an hour?
I just think
Well,
it
the
looks
longer people listen, hopefully, the more ads they take in. You know.
Right.
cool. Mhm.
Okay. Good.
The more
Just want to
dirty
see where
ads they
the
can
kind of
listen to.
the money was being made here.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Fair.
got to make
fair.
sure Ethan recoups that money he lost today.
Oh my god.
Doing something mysterious that we don't know
Doing
what.
something mysterious. Yeah.
Don't
that
even
he
bring
won't
that
say.
up. Don't even bring that up. I was
But-
only ranting about the preamble to make myself forget. Ah, now I remember.
Did
Now
you
you're in the
pay
right
somebody
mood to talk about
bury
this
you?
film, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like I need a change of perspective.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds like I need to change my outlook on this massive loss I've suffered. Like the film Taste of Cherry supposes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taste of Cherry is a 1997 film, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. From Abbas Kiarostami about a man called Mr. Body as he drives around and he's looking for someone. Anyone, really. Has to be a person of decent character at least, but somebody to fulfill a deed for him. He's not suspicious at all with his looking around. He's very kosher and chill.
He does it very nonchalantly.
Not creepy at all.
Get in the fucking car. Get in the
Get
car.
in the car. What's your name?
I'm just
Where
gonna
are you
drive.
from?
I'm not gonna
We're
tell
just
you
gonna
where
go
we're
for a
driving.
drive.
Just
We're
go
just
for a
going
short
for a drive.
I'll get you back to
Tell me-
work. Don't worry.
Yeah, we're just going to these outskirts where you could hide a dead body very easily. Hey, just put
Going to
that's a
this
grave right there.
grave.
We're going to this grave.
Get out. Get out of the car.
You'll make a lot of money. Just you gotta do one thing. So yeah, Mr. Body is taking his own life, and I think it's a religious thing that he needs to be buried, right? Or just he wants to be buried, right? Just peaceful.
Yeah, I think he just
I think
wants
it's
to
more of a want because
want to
they
just
bring
kind of
up-
like disappear. You know,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
no one knows about it, and
No trace. Very
Yeah.
clean,
not
not
make a
messy at
hassle
all.
of anything. Yeah.
And he has no one in his life who can do this, so he is he's looking for someone to
Well, he
just
seemingly has nobody in his life. We don't
we don't
really
know
learn
anything about him, honestly,
That's-
which is a
that's one of my
really
favorite
interesting
things.
choice. Yeah.
I think that works very well in the
I watched this with my
film.
dad, and he hated that about this movie. He's like, "That's lazy."
Well, yeah. Well, that's it's that maybe, but it's also like a really good way to disengage your audience And I
What
think that
I
plus all the
Yeah.
long takes is kind of trying to do that, which you know,
what I'm
interesting choice.
I love this movie. I'll say first of all.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get into it a little bit on this pod. Like this film has genuinely like done wonders for my life. I watched this at a very
Mm.
early age, right? When I was in high school. Um, and I was like very, very
Boring.
depressed in high school. Very
Okay.
depressed. And this film like genuinely connected with me so hard and did wonders for me. It was like one of the first pieces of art that like not only connected with me emotionally, but its thematics and how it presented its themes and messages genuinely like changed me a bit, like changed my life for the better. Like I took something out of it and
Yeah,
actively you know,
I
shifted
feel
my
that.
life's direction a little bit. And it
Yeah.
was it was such a wonderful experience rewatching this now. That was probably like 4 or 5 years ago, right? And like seeing just the differences of where I am in my life from where I was, it was really fantastic actually. It was
Yeah.
a
And now you
beautiful thing
found your
about art.
taste of cherry being a line cook, right? Like
Exactly.
these are the things
It,
that keep you going.
it's like it's like that one like Martin Scorsese clip where he says like the thing he loves about cinema is you can like watch the same movie in like a decade or however long. And it's like you've changed, but the movie's changed too, right? It takes on whole new
Mhm.
meanings just through life experience. And it's sat with you, it's developed with you in your mind, consciously or not. And I just think that's such a fucking cool piece of thing about art and especially movies, right? It's so cool.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
movie's fantastic. And to wrap it back around to what we were saying about the context of Mr. Batty's predicament, yeah, the film gives nothing, no backstory, no
The only
context
thing we
about
know
why
is
he's
that he
doing it.
has a decent amount of money, 'cause he
Yeah.
drives a Range
Yeah,
Rover, and he says he'll pay them I don't remember exactly how much.
200,000 tomans, I think it
Holy
was.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. And that's like something that really connected with me at the time because like I think the point of that in this movie is they don't want to give any reason because there's no like moral judgment of the action, right? They're not
Mhm.
judging where he's coming from, like what he's suffering through. Because like
Wait,
I was reading about that. Sorry.
200,000 Iranian, like 200,000 tomans is like $6.
Fuck yeah.
So maybe not that much. Oh, that's
I,
Iranian rial. That might be different. Maybe they changed currencies.
yeah.
No
And I
clue.
mean, I
Oh, here. 200,000 toman to USD in 1997. Thank you, Google. Uh, it just was in my search bar.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know. Okay, whatever. Sorry. Sorry to derail this. I just thought that was an interesting idea.
um Lost my
But the
train of
idea that
thought.
he's kind of a universal character who's
Yeah.
beyond
Yeah.
judgment a little bit in some ways.
Yeah. Because not giving him that backstory, not giving him that the context or the reasons of why he does it, kind of frees this film up to like it's less about the why and more about like the what to do now, where to go from here. It's not the film isn't about taking why he's doing it and combating that. It is just accepting that he is in a place where it is severe enough he is going to take his own life, right? And
Mhm.
Mhm.
just like accepting that, right? Because I feel like a lot of times with depression and with suicidal ideation, the way people talk about it and combat it is often just like downplaying the reasons where it's like you kind of just have to accept like this person is bad enough to a point where they are talking about harming themselves or taking their own life, so you have to like you know
Yeah, he's a baddie.
accept that. Yeah. Accept where they're at and just like help them, and I think that's
Yeah.
kind of where this film is like doing without that context is just
And also, he does directly like address that, right? He says like you can never understand how bad I feel. You just have to like you have to trust me that
exactly.
this is something I
Yeah.
can't explain to you, but
Hmm.
you know, it's gonna happen with or without you, man. You want to
Exactly.
make a little bit of money and a car. You get the car as well.
Hmm. So I think like just structurally, I think that's like one of the most powerful parts of this film. Like I love that setup, just how universal it is, just how like just poetic it is almost. I don't know. Just cutting out so much of the like almost the pretense and like dramatic opportunity that would be there
Mhm.
and just get into like the meat and potatoes of this situation.
I feel
Mhm.
like I get it. I also feel like it's kind of like a character flaw a little bit of the like not a character flaw, but like maybe it's an opportunity that if he just told people what was going on, like the right kind of person, that would probably be good for him. And he just can't do that.
Yeah.
And so
Mhm.
like it's a bit of both. Like I get
Yeah.
your point. I also feel like it might be like if he had opened up to someone that it might actually help him instead
Yeah.
of just
Works
kind of
on a
like
few levels.
yeah, there's a few different ways of looking at it because just talking with
It's like,
someone about it, right?
and
Like
Yeah.
I can.
that character halfway through the film who kind of gives him a new perspective and relates to him
Yeah.
without asking, but he tells him what's going on, and I think
They
that
just
sort of
talk
thing
for a
helps.
while.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love that last character. He's such a nice man.
hmm
Yeah, and I I love how like the main actor plays Mr. Body is
hmm
like he asks all these personal questions and he engages with all the people in his car, but like
Mhm.
you can tell he like doesn't care. He is not
yeah,
invested in like the questions he asks or them really personally. He's just trying to get like a judge a character and like understand them where they're
Yeah.
at and like feel it out a bit. And he
Well, and
plays it that detachment so well, just that
hmm
yes.
dissociation of just like not being present almost, right?
hmm
Well, and he also,
Great.
like, just so rarely gets out of the car too, like, I'm showing,
Oh
like, how
yeah.
guarded he
Oh,
is, like, he's
I l
always in the car. It's almost like he's driving around in his casket, right? Like, he's
hmm
yeah,
hmm
and
yeah.
I love that trap. Like, for a film that's all about perspective and the ways to look upon life, to shoot it pretty much entirely at the start just in that car in a
hmm
Yeah.
single shot, reverse shot is so effective. Just trapped in this perspective with the outside world
claustrophobic.
whizzing by unrecognizably, right? It's great
Yep,
stuff.
yep, yeah. I think the minimal style really helps the theme, and isn't
Oh,
just like
yeah,
a little quirk or something.
Mhm.
Um,
and then gorgeous shots too throughout, though. There's some
It's
fucking
golden
banging
hour
shots.
this entire movie. It is
Yeah,
beautiful.
and I love
Iran
just
has
the
never looked
yellow.
prettier.
They're like it's in a fucking quarry the whole film
Yeah.
for the most part, and it's gorgeous. All those hills and grass and
Even the dust
skyline.
is like
Yeah. It's awesome, man. Like that one shot of like him literally being buried by the earth with his shadow, right? When he's standing at the quarry
hmm
and it just
yeah.
cuts to the shot of all like the dirt falling over him. It's fucking so sick. Gorgeous film.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
So
that kind of
there's
sequence after he changes his perspective on
yeah.
or he's
Oh
told to
yeah.
change his perspective a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's just
there's just a great,
it's
like, 10 minutes of
it's
beautiful
quiet.
shots or whatever.
Him walking around. That like overlooking the city shot with the red sun and
And the
the
crane in the background.
The
yeah.
cherry
Yeah,
red
that's
sun.
my favorite one. Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it because like the previous scene is just talking about like looking upon life and appreciating the small things pretty much, right? Just
Yeah.
praising how much you can appreciate every little thing, even just the taste of mulberries or the taste of cherries or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and then right after you have this super quiet scene of just him walking around and so much like beauty and loveliness with all these like
Yeah.
background actors going around with their significant others, or he takes a picture of a couple, just all these like little facets of life. Like I found myself just like absorbing every piece of the blocking, every bit of the scene. It's
Yeah.
hmm
great, man.
Showing how different he's seeing the world. Like the movie
Hmm.
starts and he only sees all this desperation, right?
Yeah.
He's talking
Yeah.
to all the people who are like they need jobs, and then
Oh
he
yeah,
talks
all
to
the
somebody
labors.
in the quarry who's like just selling plastic bags. That's like
Oh
his whole
yeah,
job. Just
yeah,
this insane level of poverty and desperation.
yeah.
And then
Oh
yeah,
man.
compared to the end of the movie where he seems to be in a more affluent area, which probably helps.
Hmm.
um, but he sees the kids and the birds and just everything is much more beautiful. And
Yeah. Uh, I love the three people he talks to. I feel like you can get so much from all the different like topics they each discuss, right? And the
hmm
way he goes through all these appeals and all these like justifications and rationalizations, just the way he speaks to these people, trying to get them on board with this plan, just like it's so revealing to his character just how much
Yeah.
he's like rationalized what he's gonna do, how much he's thought about, how planned out this is, how like
Yeah.
tired he looks. Like this just the dreariness of considering this over and over. Like with the soldier, he's appealing to his sense of duty, right?
Yeah.
But like he has a gun, you kill, right? What? How is this so different? Or to the religious feller about like the religious appeals of it. Isn't it a sin to live unhappy? Um, and it sparks some really great like philosophical debate. I love it.
They
Mhm.
don't quite get into like like the debate of imperfect God creating imperfect people, but it's like
Oh
right
yeah.
there. It's very close. But I
Hmm.
wonder
And it
if the
feels
director had those kind of ideas when he was writing it, but was maybe like, I probably shouldn't be questioning these things, in Iran, where it's a very religious country, right? Like
mhm.
Mhm.
so much of it is based on the Quran, whatever that text. So
I feel
I wonder
like
how
just
far
like
he could have gone with it.
even just like more of the surface level discussions, it feels very naturalistic and like
Yeah.
akin to what would happen in this situation. So I think
Mhm.
it works for me in that way. Just
Mhm.
hitting the like beats of how this conversation would go. It wouldn't be like a full fledged like research debate type thing. Um, I don't know. Works really
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. No, I think it's fine the way it is personally, but I get
Mhm.
what you're saying. I get what you're saying. There's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
some.
Room for more potentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's part of the minimalist aesthetic. Um, to just
Definitely.
kind of leave it that way, where people aren't, you know, perfect. They don't know everything about even the things they profess to know about, which is kind of what's happening there with the
Yeah.
priest, who's they're both young people at the start, and then the third
Yeah.
guy is a old wise guy who's gone through a lot, right? So there's
And
a
he's a
bit,
teacher as
yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. So that's one of the big differences between those conversations, and then that guy just spits facts for
Yeah.
10 minutes, which
Oh
is
yeah.
nice.
And I love how he's like the only guy who is willing to do it too. The guy who
And he
tries to
tries to
actively
yeah.
get him to not do it, talk him
He
down.
Yeah, and he tries to engage Mr. Body in conversation a lot more than the other guys do. The other guys, I think, are much more
Yeah.
timid and
Yep.
intimidated, but the teacher guy, he's really there's even though it's a very slow movie, there's no like dead air with him. He's always talking and always has something to say,
Yeah.
which
God.
I liked.
And I just think he's so perfect in that role. I've never seen this actor anywhere else, obviously, but like it works so well. It synthesizes so well. And like his dialogue's awesome. There's some great quotes from him where he goes like, "Your finger is broken, but your body is fine. Your mind is
Yeah,
ill, but you are okay." Like,
it's such a
and
good
no,
joke. I've heard that joke so many times, but like the recontextualizing of it in this is so
yeah.
good.
And I also love this other one. He says he's like, "I left home to kill myself, and I returned with mulberries." I
Hmm.
love that.
Mhm.
That hits so hard. Shout out. Ugh. And I love just the whole sequence of him running back to like see the professor again through the campus. And you think he might have this big moment of like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. But he's just like telling him to like make sure I'm
Yeah, he's like throw
not
rocks as
alive.
well to see
Yeah,
Yeah.
shake me.
if I'm not
Really make
sleeping,
sure.
which is pretty funny. I like that. It was a good like undercut of
Yeah. And it's
what I
also
thought would happen.
at that point it also feels like because I think it'd be cheesy if it was this big moment where he's like, I wanna live, I wanna live, I don't wanna
Yeah,
die.
yeah,
Right.
definitely.
But like him just being like, make sure I'm alive or dead, right? It kind of feels
Yeah,
like this
really make
grafting
sure.
onto life, right? Like, what if, what if? Like just the hoping, not that resigned
Oh,
apathy
yeah, and the whole
almost.
thing, he's not like totally like, yeah, I'm just kill me now. Like it's a little bit
Yeah,
like there's a
there's
chance
room,
he still wants to live, and I
Yeah,
think
which
that's
I
just
think
throughout the
is
entire movie, which is an interesting idea because
very realistic.
realistic. Yeah.
It's beautiful stuff. And yeah, his like the main actor's performance is awesome. He's so like stone faced,
hmm
but he delivers a great range of emotion at points, just in like his appeals and the way he tries to get these people to like level with him. It's great shit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Very good.
We haven't even mentioned the end of this film,
Yeah. So there's
which
the
is
ambiguous does he die, does he not die
Yeah.
yeah,
ending.
He gets into his grave.
Looks up the sky, I think. It's been a few
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah. And then it cuts away to 5 minutes of watching behind the scenes stuff, pretty
Yeah,
much.
earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
when I
Which
tell you this blew high school Ethan's brain. Oh my god,
This blew my
it
brain
was
too the first time I saw it.
that
yeah, it's
shattered.
surprising.
Oh my god, it's so fucking sick though. A movie all about perspective, about changing your perspective, and it changes the perspective in the form of the film.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Fuck off. So sick. Like the bit where you just see Mr. Body's actor walk by. Something so simple like that is like, I don't know why that hits me so hard. So sick. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, it's all on like this grainy digital or something. I don't know what's it on. Like what? It's a different quality film. Sorry, different
I
quality image than like
yeah.
the rest of the
I think
movie. Is it?
it could be digital. It
Yeah, yeah,
makes sense for behind the scenes.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
It's cool
man.
to see how they're recording a lot of like the ambient sounds and then
Yeah.
directing like the extras in the background. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff going on. There's
It's
it's
so
it's
fucking
kind of
sick.
added to the ambiguity of the film. Like, yeah, does he die? Does he not die? Like that's
Hmm.
an important question for within the film, but it's like within the drama of the film, but the plot. But the purpose of this
Yeah.
last like 5 minutes, that's one interpretation. Another one was like, oh, it's just like a dumb gimmick, distancing technique, like a lot of the other stuff in the movie. But I think that interpretation is not really at all in favor anymore. And I think there's good reasons to see like why they did it for like changing your perspective, kind of seeing how happy that filmmaking makes
Hmm.
Yeah.
Kurosami. That's the sense I got. Like it looked like a lot of fun, and that was a nice way
That's
of
his
looking
taste
at
of
it.
cherry.
It's his taste of cherry
Yeah,
filmmaking.
man.
He loves it.
I just like I see this film entirely kind of as the theme of like change your outlook, right? Change the
Hmm.
way you look at life because that is the way of like that's the way this film has changed me, right? That is the thing it has left
Hmm.
me with and I've actively benefited from, right? And so much of my life has been like how I've dealt with hardship, how I've dealt with things going around, like
Hmm.
like losing fucking half a grand, you know? I'm gonna change my perspective on it. This is my taste of
Yeah.
cherry.
It's
I
not a
can see
bad
the
thing.
benefit. It's not a bad
Yeah.
thing. It is a chance to
It's just a
grow
thing
and
that
learn.
happened.
It is a
Yeah.
learning moment. So now you realize why I had to have all that preamble at the beginning. Because I had to set this arc up. This is my taste of cherry.
And Cormac McCarthy. You've got a few tastes of cherry,
Yeah.
which is good.
Mostly the half a grand down through line.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I set that up, but I set that up, guys, off the air.
Off the air.
Great
That was
fucking
just for
film.
us.
We really
Yeah,
should have been recording that. That was a money making opportunity missed. So
it was.
It's a
unfortunate.
fucking sick film. This is a film that has genuinely helped me out. Shout out Sardonicast. That's like the podcast that got me into like
Mm.
movies like this, gave me recommendations like this. This is one of their earlier episodes, and I watched the movie, and then I got their fucking conversation about it, and it really helped me out. Really developed my love for film and my love for life in a lot of ways. You know, sick stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. I
Yeah.
gave it a 10 out of 10. I think it's really good. It's like one of those movies that um I like the ambiguous and kind of minimal style, like the fact that it's not like, oh, I feel like $100, $1,000,000 now. Thank you for that talk, and now I'm not going to do it. It's like more
Yeah.
realistic
Mhm.
than that. It doesn't become corny or anything. Um, I think that's also good for like a certain kind of headspace because like if you're not feeling the best, you don't want to watch something. You want to watch something that kind of reflects
Yeah,
that, but can also help
and
maybe.
also
And this movie's perfect for that. So
I think like just relating to my own experiences watching this as like a very depressed teenager. If this film came off like I feel like $1,000,000 now.
At the
Everything's
end.
changed. Everything's
You've changed
amazing.
the way I look at life.
And then I go back to my film ends. I'm out of the escapism and I'm just back in my own life, right? Why
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
I feel like $1,000,000 right away? Why don't I feel amazing?
Yeah,
Why isn't
exactly.
everything fixed? Because that's not how
Yeah.
life works. And that's not how this film works, thankfully. It just shows like there is hope. Day by day, you might leave to kill yourself, but you might return with some fucking mulberries, which is sick as fuck. You
Yeah.
know, that's a
You never
W.
know how the day will go.
That's a
I like
W.
how the film kind of shows you after that talk and they look through everything. It's like all that visual beauty of
Yeah.
it kind of is trying to give you that effect of like, look, it's going to be okay. You know, like there's a lot of
Yeah.
beauty in the world, and it just shows you right after that that dialogue with the teacher. And so I think that's a great choice too. So yeah, I really like the ending. The first hour is kind of, I mean, it's interesting.
I love
It's
it.
fun. It's
I
good. It's
love it.
just a little bit cyclical, to be
I'm
honest,
very
Yeah.
right?
biased. I'm
Which
very
is fine
biased.
I think
Um,
it's cyclical by like design as
by
well, right?
design, yeah, because it's
He's
like getting into
looking.
the monotony of his life and the
Yeah.
kind of the claustrophobia and
And
inability to
he's not
connect with people, right? Those are
exactly,
all
and he's
three
not
things
looking
that
for
he
somebody
suffers
to
from.
challenge him either, right?
Yeah.
He wants somebody to like agree with him and be like, "Oh yeah, this shit sucks.
Mhm.
I'll bury
Mhm.
you, no worries."
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, he's very transactional. It's like he doesn't, here's
yes.
the money. Like, the last guy, does the teacher? Yeah, the teacher wants the money still, right? I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
he
he doesn't want it
yeah,
at all
reluctantly.
up
Yeah.
front. He takes half and or no, I think he
because
just
he
takes it.
accepted. He doesn't take any at the start. He takes it.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'll do it after the job's done,"
Yeah, once
because
the job is done.
he accepts that it's kind of an inevitability, right? He will find someone to do this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Um, but he needs the money for his daughter, I
for his
think.
daughter. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like a really interesting moral play there. Like the only person trying to help him is also the only person willing to do the job, get her done.
Yeah.
It's fucking. You smart man, Albus Kiarostami. I gotta.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, I gotta watch. I fell asleep partway during close up because it was during a movie marathon and I'd
Mm,
worked, and then it was like pretty late. So, and that
I
movie's really quiet, just like
it is.
how this movie's pretty quiet. There's no soundtrack, and there are a
Yeah.
lot of doors slamming though, if I remember correctly. So,
Yeah, there are. I really like Close Up.
I
Close Up's one of my favorites. It's been in my top 4
I
before.
I gotta hit more Albus. I think like this a filmmaker I'll really connect with because he often plays with the barrier between like reality and fiction, right? In his films, like he
Yeah.
did in Taste of Cherry.
I was listening to an interview with him where he talks about how he like casts movies and how he hates like casting actors
actors. Yeah.
because he
Oh,
never feels that it's real. He's like, I would never cast like this person as the father, this person as the mother, this person as their child because they're not a family. Like I can always tell, it
okay.
doesn't work.
I love that.
He just is like, I'll go get a real family. Like that would
Yeah.
Oh,
make way more sense.
Yeah. This
love that
is part of the Iranian like
new wave.
yeah, like neorealist kind of
Yeah.
aesthetic that they took on. It's not just Kiarostami. It's like I watched a movie called Offside that was filmed during a soccer match in the stadium, and they had two different endings based on whether or not one team won or lost, like the home team won or lost. They had to
That's
coordinate that
cool.
all in real time. So there's this like a lot of movies shot around this time are trying to like close ups all about realism and what's the
Yeah,
difference
a court
between like a
case.
like a real person and a film and real life kind of, and then
Yeah.
also a court case. Yeah. Um, so there's a lot of that stuff going on in many of these movies. I know Where's the Friend's House is the only other movie I've seen by Kiarostami, and um, it has real kids. I mean, you can't fake that, I guess, but they're non-professional actors in the other roles, and it's a good movie, so I'd recommend that one. I've heard the other two in that
Yeah,
trilogy, the
yeah.
Yeah,
Life
the
and
Coker.
nothing
Coker
more.
trilogy. It's really good. Yeah.
Damn, he like plays on each film a lot, right? Very like kind of meta a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Love,
I
love.
really want to watch his documentary, the 24 frames one.
Mm.
I like the last movie that he made.
Mhm.
It looks really
Is he
cool.
dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he died in 2016.
Yeah, he had cancer, I
Are we
think.
sure?
Yeah, I know he died. I know he
Yeah,
died.
yeah.
No,
Rip,
no.
rip.
Damn, it didn't say he
Who
was
do you
dead
think
on
buried
the
him?
letterbox thing.
Oh, let me say one other thing that's awesome about this movie. If you buy the physical copy, it looks really good on your in your collection because it's like a orange and brown.
Bro,
Looks
I'm
cool,
not gonna
man.
lie. I genuinely thought I had this movie. I genuinely thought I had this Criterion. And when
Yeah.
I was gonna go watch it, I was looking for it, and I'm like, "Where's my Criterion?" And I just got hit by this thing, this like moment of questioning reality where I like
Bro,
realized
on Thursday,
I don't have
it's
it.
coming into the lobby again, I'm pretty sure.
Oh
Don't say
shit!
that.
So
Don't
you
say
you
that,
know,
baby.
and you
Ethan's
like
coming
you
into
lost
town. He's
500
gonna have to
bucks.
hit it.
You lost
I am
500
coming
bucks.
into town.
Now you could lose
I
a
am
tenth of
coming
that.
into town.
Chat,
Oh,
chat.
fuck.
Thursday run and gun.
I
Yeah,
need it though. I genuinely thought
I
I
would
had
grab this movie.
Yeah, it's a cool one. So I think that's it. I gotta go. You
Yeah,
know.
I actually have to get going as well. But
What do
Yeah.
we give
8
this
out of
film?
10 from me.
I
'Kay.
gave it a 9, but upon reflection in this conversation, I realized this is a certified 10 out of 10 banger.
Yeah, I feel like you have a
Banger.
personal connection with this
I do.
one.
Yeah.
Do. And I just wanted to update the Critterpit ranked. It is now number 2 in Critterpit ranked.
What's your
Behind
number
RoboCop.
one? RoboCop. Yeah,
Yeah, RoboCop.
that's such a
You
good
can't-
movie. I rewatched it like on the same day Sam did. I
Yeah,
think.
we both. Yeah.
Yeah, that
RoboCop
was
goated.
it's a lot of fun.
You can't beat Robo. Well,
No, it's gonna be
I
hard
love
to
how that
beat
movie
Robo.
just becomes like like there's commercial breaks in the movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
yeah.
So awesome. And then
Even the way
and
the
then there's
movie
the one with
starts
the
with like the news.
there's the one with the giant like T-Rex going through downtown and it's
Yeah.
stop motion and it's for a car that they show later. But I
Yeah.
love how that relates to the what are the
OCP,
robots made
the
by
OCP.
Omnicorp. OCP, or is that what the enforcement robot they make that like just blows people up is called?
No,
Eddie?
that's the yeah.
Edie?
ED.
Yeah. Yeah, I love how it's like similar to that, the ED robot, because it's also stop motion and it also roars like a dinosaur for some reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot
It's
of great
awesome.
in jokes in that movie.
The fun
Yeah.
little fact about the Critterpit logo is that it's largely inspired by the OCP logo.
Omnicorp. Okay.
Yeah,
Hell
Omnicorp.
yeah. I didn't know that. Fuck yeah.
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 So wait, okay, so you have RoboCop, then you have Taste of Cherry. What's your number 3, 4, and 5?
You got
Do you know?
7 Samurai.
Okay, I have to see that.
Silence of the Lambs and Walkabout. And then
Okay, yeah.
Dead Ringers. Honestly, fucking looking at this though, Walkabout
It's
might
hard.
be better than Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. I would also
Sam,
put
what-
M up.
Sam,
It's-
what's your top
And then-
5?
I haven't ranked them in the same
I'll
way
give-
Ethan has, but
I'll give
I
my
think
top
I would also
10.
put RoboCop number 1. I might put. It's so hard from there. I don't know. M number 2. I really liked M.
Yeah, it's
M
really
is
good.
number 9 for me.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. I have to think about it more. We've already done
Here's-
like 40 some of these. There's
45.
so many of them are like so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd be harder or easier to rank like the bottom 5, I think.
Fishing with John got knocked out of the top 10. That's heartbreaking. I knew that wasn't gonna stay in there though. Like it just couldn't. There's too many Titans.
Yeah.
Number 6 though, Dead Ringers. 7, Seventh Seal. 8, Shock Corridor. 9, M, and then 10.
Is 7 gonna say 7 Seal for all time? You gonna?
Kind of has to, right?
Yep.
Even though
Number
that
10?
just happened. Number 10's The Naked Kiss.
Ah, okay. We'll have to check out those Samuel Fuller movies, and
Yeah,
also
they're really good.
I think I'm gonna see Seven Samurai maybe tomorrow. I don't remember which day. Yeah,
Nice.
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
That is a good one.
yes, yeah.
All right. Well, excellent chatting with you guys. I do have to get going.
Yep. Same. Okay. Good chatting.
Good
Peace,
chat.
guys.
Good pod.
Never lose half a grand, guys. Get your
Don't
taste
do
of
that.
cherry.
I'll try not to.
Get your
Okay.
taste of cherry, y'all. Taste those cherries, y'all.